everybody, it's Anna. So, okay, yay, we're starting to get people. That's fantastic. Hey, say hi, tell me where you're from. We'll take a couple minutes to do that. And Lashay's hi again. Hi. Oh my gosh, you guys, it just kills me. This teeny little button up at the very top, way up here, it says save. It gives a little save icon, and I forgot to push it last time. I am going to hit some of those points that we got in the last one. Brazil, New York. Hey again. It's so cool that some of you guys are coming back twice. I love it. West Virginia, Newfoundland, Canada, Michigan. That's so awesome. It's so amazing that it's so cool to be able to connect with people all over the world. So love that. Love, love, love. Pennsylvania. Hey, Erin. New Hampshire. Trinidad. Wow, look at that. From Germany. Hi again. Brazil. Gosh, how cool is this? Nantucket, Massachusetts. Oh. Hi, Maggie, this old Dutch biddy is still awake. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh gosh, I get insomnia sometimes too, and it's just Rainy's Nails. What is your favorite product? That's like asking a mom to say what's your favorite child. Well, you kind of have some, but you can't tell them. You can't tell. Actually, it's funny. Some days, some children are my favorite. Some days, other children are. Anyway, I digress. So what's my favorite product? I have to say it's the original product. It is our Simply Pure nail oil, because these nails wouldn't happen so many hundreds. And you know what? I don't even know how many customers we have. Just like thousands and thousands and thousands. I don't think we're up to 100,000 yet. That's a good goal. Anyway, so I would have to say that our Bliss Kiss Simply Pure is my favorite, just because it makes nails stronger so they don't break. So then every other product that then we came up with is another addition, accent, supplement to nail care. And my passion is making nail care and nail art easier. And somebody was asking me on the last live if I'm gonna actually make nail polish, and I was saying, you know what, there's so many amazing independent polish mixers. We call them indies. And there's so many good salon quality polishes, and then also even the drugstore brand ones, or the ones that are sold in drugstores and Walmart and all of those. There's some really good polishes. Like, I am very impressed with the Pure Ice line, and those cost a couple of bucks. So anyway. So to get back to it, is that is my whole purpose, is to teach you guys what is good nail care, and because there's so many myths all over the place. So anyway, my focus, to answer the question, it's our oil, but then there's so many other products, and it's like, okay, so which one's my next best one? Our manicure mat, and my computer's sitting on it right now, so I won't show you, but you can go to myblisskiss.com and see it, and that is a silicone mat that I created, and it has a raised edge that can help. It won't help if you spill an entire bottle of acetone, but if you spill some acetone, I've poured about 1/4 of a cup on it, and that raised edge will catch that acetone so it doesn't get all over your table. So there's that. And then kind of the next life-changing product for me is our manicure clips. And these were originally created wherever for helping to remove gel. And so I was going to test them out, and then I needed to take my manicure off. And so I had these and I hadn't really tested them, and I was like, oh, I'll just try them with regular polish. Let's see what happens. And so one of the things that I learned from Doug Schoon is that, who's the author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, is that if you warm up acetone, it is more effective. It works faster. And so the way to do that was to take your acetone bottle, put it in a little bowl of hot water, and let it sit for 15, 20, 30 minutes and let it heat up your acetone. Don't put it in the microwave because you will probably blow up your house. So, a better solution, when I discovered that these clips actually trap in the heat of from your body, and so it warms up the acetone naturally that way. And so then really literally these clips, so you take a piece of cotton and you break it up into little pieces, and then or you can take a cotton makeup circle and cut it into 4 pieces, and then you saturate that with acetone, like almost dripping kind of, and you put that on your finger, and then you put the clip over that, and then literally by the time I start with my pinky and by the time I get to my thumb, I've got my pinky, so I'll have them all done. But literally, you take another piece of cotton and you swipe, clip, swipe, 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 done. It's like, so for me, big life game changer, because I hate acetone. It's not that I hate acetone, it's that I hate that it evaporates so fast that it makes your fingers feel like you've just stuck them in ice. And speaking of which, ice baths don't work. That's another one of those. Actually, it does work. Doug Schoon says, yes, it technically works, but it's dumb because it's really cold. And it's still, I find that when I've tried it, it makes the outer surface hard, but it doesn't stop the inner polish, and so it kind of bubbles. So I don't like that. And then just to talk about a couple of other products that we have that people asked me about, and what about the manicure solutions that I'm focused on, is one of the things that we carry is stainless steel mixing balls. And the reason that I added those, and that was way back at the beginning when we first started our business about 5 years ago, was that I was learning and I was getting these polishes, and because my husband had been laid off from a job of 13 years, and we had just started selling the oil. And where was I going with that? I was on a polish no buy for 2 years. 2 years, you guys, 2 years. And that was really, really hard. And so I started looking at it, and when I was shaking up some of those bottles, and I was like, why do I hear nothing? I hear nothing. And I realized as I looked at them, they had no more mixing balls, or they only had one. And a couple of companies have eliminated them. And I think that's their way of bringing down costs without actually letting you know that they're bringing down the cost. You know, the kind of that hidden thing of like, oh, there used to be 16-ounce cans of things, and now they're 15 ounces, and I think now they're 14.5 ounces. So, but the price is still the same. Anyway, and so we started selling the mixing balls so that I could then shake up my polish. Let me go back and answer a couple of questions. Somebody's asking me, I think, the difference between acetone and non-acetone. And there's one more question that I want to hit that I got in the last live, and I didn't save it. I was so mad at myself. This is what I get for asking you, hey, where are y'all from? And then now I'm trying to find questions in the middle of this. Can you show a close-up of your nails? Yes. And actually, they're supposed to be this way. I just did, actually, when I took off my red polish, somebody had asked me, I said, what am I going to do next, you guys? And so somebody said, do rainbows for Gay Pride Month. And so since my daughter is gay, I was like, that's a great idea. And then somebody else said, do purple with holograph. And so there we go. That's all of it. So I did, the rainbows are supposed to be going that way. But anyway, so I was very pleased. I kind of like it. And I think it's Nails by Rima who did this design, and I just loved it because it was easy, and you can kind of be messy, and it still looks great. Oh, Vanessa, I bent my nail and now I have a horizontal line of blood. Is that permanent damage? No, actually that is just a bruise. So really, I mean, just like we bruise, if you whack your arm, you bruise, and you've got the blood in there, and then the body takes care of it. It may not disappear. It may be where it just has to grow out, but no, it's not permanent. It's really just a blood bruise, rather than like bruises in the actual nail plate are those horizontal lines that, or yeah, horizontal lines. And people have all kinds of strange things, like this is how many boyfriends you have, and grandparents tell all kinds of, oh, here's the reason why you have all of these white lines. Well, those are just actually bruises. So what happened was, back here in the matrix is where your nail cells grow. So you unknowingly whacked your back here, your eponychium. That's what this area that covers up your matrix is called. So you whacked it, and you won't see that white line for another month and a half. So it takes about a month to 2 months, depending on how fast your nails grow, to get to the cuticle line. So so if you banged it here, and when your nails are growing from your matrix, they are opaque, so they look kind of whitish, and that's why some people have a lunula, the moon that everybody covets. No, you don't really want to covet, because that is the exposed portion of the matrix, and so then the only thing that's protecting it is the nail plate, not all of this skin on the eponychium. So so those nail cells are basically whitish, and then when they pass the cuticle line here, calling me. I hope that didn't pause this. Anyway, so, okay, sorry. I haven't ever had to deal with a call in the middle of this. The nail bed, which is the pink part that you see underneath your nail, that is nourishing. It's pumping up the perfect blend of like moist 18%, about 18% moisture and 5% body oil. And it pumps that up through the nail plate. And so that's what makes it transparent. But it's dead. Basically, it's just dead. So anyway, so if you bang it back here, the nail gets messed up and it doesn't turn transparent at this point. So it just stays white. So it's just a bruise. And unfortunately, by the time it gets here, you've completely forgotten what you did, which is why all of these crazy myths come about. And so I think I have this bad habit of sort of going down one path and then taking another. And what's the best solution for when a nail flakes? And I'm guessing you mean by like when it starts to peel back here and kind of flake back. The best solution is if you get a big flake that's sort of peeling at that edge, you can clip it with a nail clipper if it's sticking up enough, or you can just file it down very, very carefully. So just file that little ledge that's left, and then if it's really big, I would fill it in with like a thick type of nail glue. It's called a gel nail glue because it's just thicker than super glue. It's just a thicker version. So look for that like at Sally Beauty Supply. I really like it. And that fills it in, and then when you polish, then it's all protected. Fairy tale nails. Hi Anna, I read your chemophobia article and saw that TSFR is not toulene. Some indie fast drying top coats state that they do contain toulene and it's not labeled as TSFR. Is it still okay? Is it the same thing? Yeah, it literally, I mean, I don't know about all of these chemicals. I know several, but everybody freaks out about all of these ingredients. And, you know, the big one is formaldehyde resin. So the TSFR is Tilsanophite, something, I forget, formaldehyde resin. So that's the TSFR. And you can go to the article at nailcarehq.com and put in, what was this article that I was just, the chemophobia one. And all of these ingredients have been used for over 100 years, and they've been proven to be safe because think about it, okay? We are putting these ingredients on dead nail cells. Now, would you want to cover all of your skin with all of these ingredients? No, because they're chemicals that the skin doesn't like. But putting it on dead nail cells is not going to hurt you. And there is nothing other than water and body oil or a good jojoba wax ester based nail oil blend. There's nothing else that can go into the nail plate this way. So nail polish just sits on the top, and the solvents evaporate and the resins cure. They basically just, we say drying, but they're really hardening because the solvents are lifting out or evaporating out. So they're fine. And the whole formaldehyde resin thing just pisses me off because what happened is they've taken ingredients and one of them is formaldehyde, which is a gas. So you can't have just like straight formaldehyde. It's a gas. You can't have it in polish. But they've used formaldehyde and other ingredients to turn it into a different product. So it's kind of like baking a cake, and I put that in that article. So if you bake a cake, you have these first ingredients. Your first ingredients are eggs, oil, the flours, and all of the things, or the cake mix for those of us who are lazy. And then, well, I won't say lazy. Some of us are just very busy. And anyway, so you've got these ingredients, and when you're done, you have a cake. You have something completely different. It's no longer oil or eggs or the flours and the everythings. It's different. But can you say that it's eggs just because now it's cake? No, you can't. And that is the same thing with these ingredients. But because it says formaldehyde resin, which is really formaldehyde resin, but since it says that, Prop 65 in California, they have literally 800 ingredients on their banned sort of chemical list that you have to, that has to be on the label of, oh, this is an ingredient that can cause cancer. Okay, calm down, Anna. Anyway, yes, fairy tale nails, you're fine. Okay, so for those of you, I mean, I know we have people who come in and go out, and for those of you who are new and don't know anything about me, my name is Anna. I am the author of nailcarehq.com. I have more than pushing over 80 articles now. We also are on YouTube, and what I'm doing is we're recording these lives and then posting those about a week later over on YouTube. And then I'm also taking those 80 articles and I'm reading them. So they're like podcasts or audiobooks. So I'm turning them into videos so that you can listen to those while you're doing your nails or cleaning the kitchen or whatever. Because, you know, I've been doing this for 5 years and I know what the proximal fold of the eponychium is and the hyponychium and the lateral folds and the phalanges and all of these words that are like, those of you who are nurses and anybody who went to medical school and kind of stuff, you know what these are. But anyway, so it definitely helps to hear me say all of this stuff more than once. So I'm really excited that we're recording those so that you can listen to them many times, because I know a lot of people don't have time to read, but you know, when you're in the car and you're in traffic, you could pull up a YouTube video and just listen to that while you're driving. And acetone, oh, this is a good question. Does acetone on your nails have any effects on your skin? I am so glad, Rainy Day Nails, that you asked that question. And does it have any long-term effects? No. And Doug has, oh gosh, Doug Schoon, the author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, so that's my nail Bible for those of you who don't know. All of my writing is based on his book, and I'm really fortunate to have become friends with him. But so the big thing with acetone is it does not penetrate into the skin or the nail plate. And the reason, if you think about it, so acetone evaporates faster than water. I don't know what the rate is, but it's like poof. Okay, so acetone is dissolving, is evaporating. Sorry, I say the wrong words. It's evaporating into the air. So there's really, besides the fact that it can't penetrate, because Doug says it can't, and so it can't penetrate, and it's constantly evaporating anyway. And the other cool thing is that I didn't know until I learned it from him is that our body actually makes acetone. So we have this teeny little bit of acetone in our body already. Now, does that mean you should drink acetone? No, because you'll make yourself very sick. And you'll end up calling the poison control line, and they will figure out what you're supposed to do. Anyway, don't drink acetone. So anyway, there's no long-term effects. The biggest thing is that since acetone is a solvent, solvents dissolve water and lacquer and all of these other types of chemicals. And just the word chemical is not bad. Everything has a chemical structure. So acetone is a solvent for those things, and it just basically dissolves the oil that's in your skin and your nails. So that's why we have to use nail oil and really wonderful balm type of lotions to get all that moisture back into our hands. I have a lot of skin growing underneath my nails. Why is that? And is there a way to keep it from growing too crazy? And I think I need to write an article about this. I think it's called the pterygium, because it starts with a P. And anyway, what she's talking about is underneath here, some people call it meat, extra flesh, all kinds of things. But basically what happens is this skin doesn't detach here, and it grows out with the nail plate. And so you end up with this extra skin that doesn't, so it ends up, when you look at it this way, you're not getting a nice curve when it leaves the, tired brain. Anyway, once it leaves and becomes your free edge, so for some people, and sometimes it's all nails and sometimes it's just one or two, where that skin doesn't release, and you really don't want to mess with it. And I will write an article about why, because it's a big paragraph, big couple pages in Doug's book. So I will do that. You can just a tiny little bit sort of push at it, but boy, you'd want to be very, very gentle. And I would do that in the shower when the skin is soft. But for the most part, Doug says don't touch it. What do I think about acetone additives? They are supposed to make 100% pure acetone not so drying to the skin. They're usually like glycerin, and I want to say glycerin is a humectant. I don't remember. I really need to go to school and learn about chemistry, because I only took biology. Because now I'm talking about all these chemicals and how everything works together. And remember I talked about everything has a chemical structure, including water. And so remember, you learned in school H2O. So you've got your hydrogen and your oxygen, and everybody's okay with that. But did you know that water can kill you? So everything that everybody's freaking out with about the whole chemical thing, it's all about how much. It's about exposure. The sun can kill you. Too much exposure to the sun, but it's a good thing. It's healthy. Everything in the right amount of exposure is fine. So anyway, so the acetone and the additives, whether they work or not, I don't know. I don't worry about it. I just before I remove my polish, I slather my skin here with, because I know it's going to dry out my skin. So I slather it with like olive oil or some cheap kitchen oil and get my skin all oily, and then do the soak and swipe technique. I'm hoping I already talked about that. I think I did. The soak and swipe technique with using our manicure clips and acetone. And what it does is it takes the oil that you've slathered on your skin, so your skin feels great when you're done. So I hope that helps. That's something that I figured out on my own, and it's really, really helped. Somebody says, so I feel like ever since I started soaking with acetone, my C curve is really curved. What do you recommend about, and why is this happening? Great question. The reason that your C curve is getting, and so what she's talking about for some of you, and I know this is going to be right in the lettering, I'll try and put it up higher. Anyway, see how the C curve, this is what we talk about, that it looks like a C. Anyway, what's happening is when you're using your acetone, my next question for you would be, are you using a really good nail oil? Because what's happening is the acetone is drying out your nails. And so when they dry out, they curl. I mean, you think of an autumn leaf that's losing moisture. So it's nice and flat and wonderful when it's all green, but then when it falls to the ground, it starts to dry out. It starts to curl and get twisted and eventually so brittle that it breaks. Our nails are exactly the same way. So you really, really, really want to have lots of oil in your nails. And if you're not doing it, I would recommend even trying the overnight hydration treatment that I've got on my website at nailcarehq.com. And you can just, I think it's still more recent, but if it's not, and you're not finding it on the front of the page, just Google nailcarehq.com and whatever the keyword was that I was supposed to be talking about. Anyway, and that's a good thing too, is to tell you guys, anytime that there's something you want to know, go to Google, because it's faster to find stuff on Google with our webpage. So you put in nailcarehq.com and you put in some keywords of what you think you want to, like yellow nails or ridges or acetone. Put all of these things in and it will immediately pop up the articles that I've written for you. And some of them I have like, I think 3 articles on yellow nails. So those are really good. And a lot of people freak out about yellow nails, and go read those articles because it's nothing to freak out about. Maria says, live again? Yes, we're trying it twice today. See if I can survive and my voice lasts. Somebody's in Kuwait, and why don't they have my products? That is a really great question. And the reason we sell all over the world, except to Dubai and another place, because packages never seem to make it to those countries. That's listed on our website. But anyway, we sell all over the world through our website, but the biggest mission that we have with our company is to create this is our mission, to create life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience. And so if I have distributors and stockists, then they end up taking over the customer service, and then we don't have any control of that. And eventually we'll get there, but right now I'm too neurotic and crazy, and I want you to have this amazing customer experience. And so I'm kind of holding on really tight, because I really want everyone to be happy. You know, if your order is lost by USPS, we replace it at no charge. And if the second one gets lost, then we give you a refund. It's that kind of thing of, it's not our fault that the Postal Service lost your order, but what are you supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Well, I feel like you paid for something, you need to get it. So that's why that customer experience is huge for us. How do you feel about hot paraffin wax dip for your hands? Um, I have never actually tried it, but what I imagine is that basically what it's going to be doing, since paraffin's just wax, it's like dipping your fingers in a wax candle. But what it does is when you take that off, it's going to take all of the dead layers of skin that are there, and so then your hands are going to feel nice and smooth. I do not see why they would be a problem. The biggest thing for me would be just make sure that you have at least one layer of base coat or to just protect your nails. Fatima says, why does your nail oil work so well? It's magical. Actually, I did a lot of research into the oils that are in it. I studied all of when I first started learning about nails, I've been painting my nails since I was 12, but about 5-6 years ago, when I started learning about nails, and I wanted to learn how to keep my polish from chipping in the shower, because I would spend all of this time on nail art, sometimes 4 hours on nail art, and then I would get in the shower and it just started chipping, and I was like, oh, it was driving me nuts. So I fell into this. So I did a search on Google, fell into this whole 2-week long rabbit hole for like 8 hours. I was obsessed of nail art and swatchers. Anyway, the whole bunch of, there was so much fun information. And then I also found a lot of really bad information. And I was like, wow. And interestingly enough, at the end of 2 weeks, I still didn't have an answer. I felt like I had explored the entire internet at that time, which was a lot smaller 5 years ago. I had exhausted what I could find on the internet, and I still didn't have an answer for how to get my polish to stop chipping in the shower. But I had learned one of the really good things was that really, really good oils, especially jojoba wax ester, which is actually not an oil, it's a wax ester. So it penetrates, and part of our body oil is wax ester. So since body oil can come up through the nail plate, a good jojoba wax ester blend, nail oil blend, can penetrate into it. So I was like, great, I'll just go find a cuticle oil and I'll start using that. Every single one had almond oil in it, and it's not a bad oil. I'm just allergic to almonds. And so I was like, I don't swear, and I don't like swearing in my account, but I do swear off camera. But anyway, so I was like, well, okay. So I started doing research on DIY recipes, or why were people picking the ingredients on all of those DIY recipes that you find on Pinterest. And then I started analyzing all of the commercial ingredients and what are their oils and why are they picking them. And I started researching the stuff out of it on Google. And then so I just went, okay, I need this one, this one, this one, this one, and this. And I put it together just for fun. And then I started, and I had Corey, I had a nail oil pen that's like these. I had one from Avon, and since then I have learned that none of the ingredients in the Avon one were any good. They weren't helping at all. But I had this empty pen, and so I'm like, Corey, can you just take this thing apart and put my oil in there? And he did. And so then I just kept, just lightly putting on my nails and just rubbing it in, and my nails soaked it up like a sponge. And so I just kept reapplying it. And after 3 days, my nails felt more flexible. And so when I bashed them into a counter or a door or whatever, they bent. I would when you whack your nail into something and you're like, crap, I just did it. And then when you look down and you're like, oh, it's still there and nothing happened. That's exciting for all of us crazy nail girls. Anyway, and so after 4 months, my nails were longer than they had ever been. And I was like, betting there's some other girl on this planet, woman, and even men who would like this oil. And so that was the beginning. And it's just, we have so many people, they're like, I've tried so many different things, and then I finally get Bliss Kiss, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's different. It just works. It penetrates so well, and it's based on the ingredients that I chose and then also the ratios of them. So anyway, that is why it works so well. Plus, we package everything with love. Seriously, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but like on all of our bottles, our big gallon bottles, we've written love on all of them to remind all of us to have positive, loving thoughts, and that puts that energy out into the universe and to you. So we need a large scale picture of a fingernail for a better visual, like the one you have showing all the components of the parts of the nail. That's a really good one. So James will edit this video, and then so that this will be up in about a week, probably late next week, and he can put in the picture of that. So I feel like I'd feel a little bit like Vanna White, trying to hold something up so that you could see it. I don't know, I could try that and see. That's kind of an interesting idea, actually. Thank you for that. Bugs Bunny Elvo. Your name cracks me up. Hi, you're back. Thank you. I think I answered the what can I do about the skin that grows under long nails. What other tool would be okay to use to remove cuticle from the nail plate as gentle as I am still seeing peeling or fuzzies after using it? Okay, I need more information, but I'm going to do the best I can. So the tool I use is this one. And Doug Schoen doesn't recommend it, but I've tried all kinds of different things, and for me, this one works really well. But you have to use it correctly. And most people, because it's metal, they tend to use too much downward pressure, and they're scraping, and you have to use it properly. And so the reason I like this one is because it has a small, this is the large end, and then a scoop on this end. This scoop end fits my pinky just right. And so what you're actually going to do, and I know those of you can't see it over the writing, I think you can swipe down if you don't want to see the writing, all of the text that people are doing. But anyway, so you want to slide this tool very, very gently. So I'm going to put that above the writing. You're going to slide, see how I'm holding it exactly the same horizontal. Anyway, you want to hold that tool and slide it back very, very gently this way. So there's this tiny bit, you can, like, it's hard to show you, but you really, really want to keep this tool just barely just sliding across the surface. And then what I do is I do a scoop around. I have a way better, okay, I'm stinking at this right now. So check out the video that I have on YouTube at youtube.com/C as in channel, another /Bliss Kiss, and look for the video that shows how to properly remove the cuticle. What do you mean? Why am I paused and I don't know how to unpause? Hello from Canada. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna end this and save it and start again. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.